The third tip I think that's important to keep in mind is choosing activity that brings you out of your comfort zone, or outside of the St. John context, because that brings you into new environments and that makes it all the more rewarding because you've reached an obstacle that you overcome. Participating in MUN, because it's in school, participating in the discussions or the resolutions was relatively easy and not that challenging, but then taking that outside of the St. John's bubble, so to speak, was really definitely more challenging, and I felt like because of that, it was more insightful because I learned what exactly my weaknesses were and how I could overcome them. When you went speaking in front of a classroom of 10 people was quite simple, but then having to speak in front of a huge room full of international school students from around the world was a totally different experience because there were so many more of them, and it is also a totally different formal situation. So what was most key there was basically taking one experience and putting it into a totally different context that is outside of your comfort zone.
Taking part in the class discussions and going for lunch times to talk about resolutions was completely different than going and meeting new people and representing a delegation that wasn't really you, and trying to collaborate with these people that you had just met with, and public speaking in front of the huge audiences, and it really allowed me to step outside my comfort zone, and I feel like that was one of the places that I not only enjoyed the most, but I learned the most in. Things like ISSTs and sports games. I mean, I think a lot of athletes can agree that practices are very different than when you actually come to the competitions, and these competitions are outside of the school bubble, they're outside of our comfort zone. You go and you compete against people from all over international schools in Europe, and it really allows you to have a much better experience and to learn about what it's like to get out of your comfort zone, which you'll all be feeling eventually when we graduate and go to university. So it's better to get started now.